Welcome to Vets Online, everybody. We're here tonight for the Cut Price Racing Rallycross Series. And I tell you what, it is going to be a awesome night of racing. We're at Phoenix tonight, which, if you've raced around there, you know it's a interesting track, to say the least. Certainly turn 1, 2, we're probably going to see a few packages being absolutely rifled down that inside because that corner just invites it turn 2, I should say, at the Phoenix Rallycross course. But obviously, Thomas Ends here running you through it for tonight's action. Got Jay Candy, as always, doing the magic behind the scenes and with the cameras. But alongside me tonight is Mr. Corey Ott. Hello.
Hello, people, and Hinsey. So, we're at Phoenix. We are at what I call the god of all sending it into at the first lap. And tonight, the first race, I think it'll be up in about 5 or so minutes. We're going to see the first sign of people just sending it because they really want to.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's going to be a cracking night of racing, and yeah, that second turn is going to be a very interesting one. But I think we're going to be we may actually end up doing the Emily Jones split here for this first one, by the looks of it. We were going to do number 2, and happens to be the one that Emily's in, so that's one we'll be doing as our first televised split for the night. But yeah, it's a pretty wide circuit too, compared to somewhere like Daytona and Lucas Oil. It's a very wide circuit, lots of room to move, but still very easy to make little errors around there. And of course, the Joker is probably one of the more interesting ones of the Jokers around because it's a asphalt Joker onto gravel, and it's on the outside of the effectively final corner, basically, of the lap. Just a big sweeping right-hander, all dirt. Personally, it's my favourite. I think it's my favourite corner on the track. The dive bomb central, that is always good fun, good for shenanigans. But when you get that last sweeping right-handed ride, it's just a fantastic feeling, I think, Corey.
Yeah, it is. Especially doing a couple of official races as well. You know, the night before. It really is a track like, especially Daytona, where you have the first part is sort of like a bus stop layer with the massive jump in the middle, and then Phoenix, it just turns it all around on its head by having 2 beautiful, slowing right-handers, and then a bit of a wiggly bit, and then you completely miss the jump with the Joker. Over the jump if you do not take the Joker. That corner before the jump, though, will play havoc to a lot of drivers tonight, either taking the approach the wrong way, going over the wall on the outside, or, hitting the beautiful tyre barriers that are there to save you, well, not really save you at the end if you do land it wrong.
Yeah, for sure. It's as I found, I did do a few runs around of the official series earlier on, just to sort of have a bit of a go in the cars again. First time in a while I've been getting to Rallycross, and yeah, that jump really can easily catch you out. You hit it the wrong way, and again, you're hitting on the angle as well, which is kind of a thing I've noticed with a lot of the jumps. Maybe outside of Lucas Oil, every track you're kind of hitting the jump on a bit of an angle, which makes it quite interesting to try and get it right. And it's the same again with Phoenix. You're hitting it coming from a left-hander, a sweeping left-hander at speed. And if you get it wrong, there are 3 very juicy tyre barriers waiting on the right side of the jump. So if you go too far right, it can end in tears. I've seen someone go flying over the barrier over to the right side in an earlier event that I did. But yeah, it's a very fun track for me. And as we know, by turn 2, I think even by the back half of the circuit, there's actually a good deal of taking opportunities just from how wide the track is. Probably a bit more forgiving compared to a couple others. Lucas Oil jumps out at me big time because there's a very thin circuit, especially the dirt part. But this one, a bit wider, a bit more forgiving in a way, but very flowing, I think, as well, is a good way to look at it. Apart from Dive Bomb Central turn 2, there are a lot of pretty fast corners, with flowing corners. The last sweeping one comes into a little bit of a short chicane, as we'll see. We were discussing before, it's always a bit of a tricky one there. If you hit someone hits a tyre bundle on the way out of that sweeping right-hander, it can end up blocking that chicane, and it can cause some interesting moments for it.
Yeah, it really can, and back to the point of how wide the track is, especially on the dirt part. It's also a very good invitation, especially the tight, because the right-hander, how sweeping it is, it's tight, and then it opens out. The tight bit, you see a lot of people in official series and probably here tonight just having a little look, maybe tapping that right rear, taking them around a little bit, but also as well, something we haven't pointed on yet, Kinsey, it's the end of it's the exit of the Joker now. Before the season after week 13, I believe, they updated the circuit so the dirt part's wider on the sweeping right, and also that Joker the exit has now become much tighter, meaning that you could see maybe one or two guys thinking it's just go straight on, but instead going over the wall and blocking up the exit of that Joker on lap 1.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's something that's a good point to note. There's just a discussion about that. I think very recently actually it might have been done. They adjusted the Phoenix Joker lap and also the sweeping right hand, which is good to see. Makes it a bit more difficult, especially that Joker. And you are coming out onto the exit of the sweeping right hander and into the path of the other cars. So it makes trying to sort of blend into the rest of the traffic a pretty tricky affair, especially going from asphalt to gravel. But we're just about getting ready. We've still got about 3.5 minutes of practice here, and then we're going to the first race of the night, first round of heats. And tell you what, we have a pretty packed first heat here that we've happened to pick out. Luca Giacomin here, then we've got Joel Berkeley, Blake Neck, there we go, sorry there, Nicky, Matt Hartley, Kurt Stenberg, Emily Jones, Gavin Sattler, Michael Crooks, and our own Bo Alberts and ERTs as well in this split. So there's some pretty big names in this race, Corey, and it could really make for quite a juicy battle in front.
Yeah, it does. We've got TTL, we've got TTR, we've got some ERT drivers here in the mix, and also a couple of privateers, I'm guessing, here as well. Really mixing up the amount of, the diversity of drivers we have for this series, and it's going to be a really eye-opener for some of these guys, maybe especially us, to see if one of these privateers can, maybe overtake Emily Jones, win this heat, get their way through to the next one. But at the moment, there are 3 splits of approximately 10 or so drivers trying to get into the next stage. Now, there will be some drivers going home after this race, so this is one of the first people going to send it for anything they can races tonight.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to thin it out, isn't it? I'm really fascinated. Mentioning about the sending it as well. I'm really fascinated to see how bad it is at that corner, because my experience hasn't been too bad in that first corner. Probably the main problem I've noticed is the first lap. Is with the way the grid's formed up, you can't be 3-4 wide in that first turn, and it can make some pretty big crashes if you don't watch yourself into that corner.
Yeah, exactly. And also at the, we keep talking about turn 1 and 2, but I've got to talk about one more time. The start, the start. Basically, it'd be 3 wide into possibly 2 wide affair, because you're coming onto the turn 1 at a more tighter angle than what you are when you can do a lap. And we're going to see that tie barrier in the middle of the track at the start or during the race, but we might see a couple of guys kissing or saying hello to that wall and goodbye to their night at turn 1. So we've got about less than a minute left to practice for these guys to get used to the track and their competitors before we head off for a 10-lap race, including 2 jokers. So it's going to be a very, very amazing Punterino sort of race here tonight.
Yeah, for sure, and just getting some info from Jay, who always gives us the vital bits of information that we can relay to you guys. Berkeley and Stenberg, the fastest qualifiers in this split, so watch for them to be at the front. Albert's starting at the back. He didn't get a lap in, so he'll be at the very back of this split. And we know Bo is a very, very handy driver in most things, but he's especially handy, would seem, in this rallycross format. So I would expect him to be coming through the field and be up towards the end. Come the end of this race, he's certainly got a talent for this rallycross discipline. So I will be watching him to see his progress here. And as you said, 2 jokers, 10-lap race, so they've got 2 joker sort of tokens, as I like to think of them, to use to get some overtaking done, or just get into clear air. Generally, that's what you do. You either use them when you're in a pack to clear the pack, or you hold on to them when you've got some clean air to then maybe jump some people battling in front of you. So it's always a really tactical game with the joker laps, especially with the way that GRC run them, being as more of an advantage than a disadvantage. But the grid is on the screen, so we'll go through it quickly now before we go. Joel Berkeley is going to be on pole from Kurt Stenberg. Luca Giacomin is P3, and it's Emily Jones, Blake Neck, Gavin Sattler, Matt Hartley, Michael Crooks, and Bo Albert rounds out your 9-car field for this first heat. 29 starters all up in all the heats that will be here tonight, so a good turnout for this Phoenix round of the championship. And we're just waiting for the last couple of competitors to grid up, and then we can get going. As there we go, last person is on the grid. The lights are coming on. We're ready to go here for Thursday Night Rallycross here on V8's Online. Who's going to win this first heat? We'll find out in a moment. Lights holding it for a very long time. It's green flag and they're away, and Joel Berkeley has got an absolutely
they're
stunning
full, and they're nearly full wide at behind them as well. They're 3 wide. No one's hit the wall at all. Anybody else turn 2? Oh, no one sends it. Bo nearly getting to his teammate there, but at the moment, they're 2 wide. Who's going to take the Joker?
Going to take the Joker, yeah.
So Neck and Albert, I see, take the Joker, and also the 2 TTR cars, 71 in them. Yeah, Jones in the wall.
Yeah, and that's held up a teammate as well, Stenberg, and that's let the 2 ERT cars, not ERT, because Blake Neck's one of them, but it's let Blake Neck and Bo Albert get right up behind them now. So the 2 TTR cars leading the way at the moment, having done their Jokers, but a little bit compromised through that joke lap, and that's left them vulnerable now to the rest of the field. And really the one to watch is going to be Berkeley, although Berkeley's in the wall. Yeah, I was going to say Berkeley's in the wall out of turn 1, all on his own. I'm just going back to have a look now. He just went too hot, just way too hot, just too hot into the corner and into the outside wall. It was all on his own. And tell you what, that is not sort of just a mistake I'd expect. And he go back to be on, but it's on for the lead, yeah. Neck and Albert, yeah, on for the lead. So the 2 TTR cars have dropped back a bit again. I think Emily Jones is there. I don't see Stenberg, so I'm guessing he's at an instance somewhere. But Blake Neck currently leading, but Bo Albert is right there behind him. And keeping in mind, he started at the back, Bo Albert, and he's up there fighting for the lead at the moment as we're 3 laps into this 10-lap race. And we've got a replay for Stenberg on the screen now.
And Stenberg is now dropped all the way down to dead last there. And I think at the moment,
jump.
So they've had a jump, and Bo Albert's gone wide after the jump, so that means now he's lost. And Jones has sent it on him. Got the job done. Little tap on the exit there, but Bo's coming back. But he'll lose out on that fight.
Yeah, looks like Emily's got done, so it's move done. Emily Jones, good move in the end. We've got Joel Berkeley is behind them in P4 with Matt Hartley following along quite nicely in P5. Just having a look now to see. Yep. There you go. So yeah, Jackerman, Sadler and Crooks are yet to take any Jokers. I'm pretty sure Hartley and certainly Berkeley's taken 1. So Berkeley's got 1 more to go. But the rest of the cars in front of him, Albert, Jones has still got 1 to come as well, so she's in probably the box seat right now because both Blake Neck and Bo Albert have done both their Jokers. So really, I think Emily Jones is the effective leader at the moment. But Joel Berkeley's not too far back, and we've seen how quick he is. And he had a little bit of a tardy start, and then had that moment with the wall on his own too. And I tell you what, that car does not look very straight. Look at that into that. Turn 2, he's all over the place. I think that front left is quite badly bent after that pretty hefty contact with the wall earlier on. We're about halfway through this race. It's currently Blake Neck leading. The question is, can he pull out enough of a gap that he can stay ahead of Emily Jones when she does do her second Joker? At the moment, Emily Jones is probably close enough to jump him when she does do that second Joker. But Blake Neck, his pace is looking pretty good, but it just isn't enough at the moment for him.
No, it's not really at the moment there, but that looks like maybe 4th, 5th and 6th that little pack's starting to tighten up now, but we're now... and Berkeley is really crabbing at the moment going into turn 1 and 2, so he's fighting his way, but I don't know if he'll make it to the end without bidding it.
Oh yeah, that car is really bent up very
and
badly.
He'll take his Joker. I don't know if his first or his second one. Yeah, it's really difficult for him getting through that Joker.
Oh yeah, that's really bent up forward focus right there. He did, as I said, he did hit that wall pretty hard when he went off at turn 1. So I'm not too surprised.
And Hartley and Glickerman. Jackerman, yeah, they're both going 2 wide. They've got it together.
As for P5 at the moment would be, I believe, not effective actually, because Hartley's done both of his Jokers. Jackerman's not done any.
But Jackerman's looking. Yeah. He won't do it, but will he get to the Joker? I think he might. We give him a tap and do the Joker. Chrome Hall effect done right there.
It's one way to get Joker done, but he's going to come out pretty much side by side with Joel Berkeley. He's still struggling around with that very bent up forward focus. Gavin Sattler goes through as well to do his first joker. He's looking very good at the moment, Gavin Sattler as well. He's been quietly going along in clean air behind, keeping his nose clean, but here comes Luca Jackman around the outside of Berkeley, and yeah, Berkeley not going to make it too hard. He's just trying to bring it home at the moment. The very, very beat up focus, so I don't think he's going to be fighting anyone too hard. But out in front, Blake Neck still leading the way. 3 laps to go in this first round of heats for CPR Rallycross here at Phoenix. And yeah, Neck at the moment leading, but at the moment it's looking like it'll be Emily Jones who should take the win. She's keeping close enough though. I think when she takes a joker, she should come out ahead of Blake Neck. But I think she might wait till the last lap possibly to do it, just to make sure she gets that done. But Jackman up to 3rd now. I think he may have done his 2nd joker. He did, so he did his jokers 2 laps in a row there. So that's that done. He's now been cleansed of the jokers. And in 3rd, I don't think... Oh, it is effective, sorry, because Bo Albert did do his at the very start. So it's effective 3rd for Jackman. Bo Albert's going to be 4th.
And Emily's taken her joker. She'll get in front of Neck.
Just about. Yeah, got him. There you go. That's moved on. Just ahead of them is actually Kurt Stenberg, who's still trying to run around and get a finish out of this despite his dramas earlier on off the jump. So he's still going, but at the back, at least he's still looking at getting a finish in though, which is good to see. As we've got last lap now for the field. Emily Jones has been a pretty masterful first heat. Really has a knack for these rallycross cars. Was victorious in the Tuesday night Australian Rallycross League being broadcast by RRTV, and looking very strong. Obviously won at Iowa as well here in this series, so she's just going from strength to strength in these cars, and looks like it's going to be pretty much a perfect start to the night for Emily Jones. She comes around the final corner now onto the main straight, and it's going to be a win for Emily Jones. Heat 1 here at Phoenix, although Blake Neck right behind, so one to watch in the later heat. Luca Jackman is going to come home 3rd to round out the podium for this heat with his teammate Bo Albert from the back to full, so good drive there from Bo. Gavin Sattler very nearly got Bo at the end there as he did his last joker, but not quite enough. Still a solid one.
Berkeley comes along the line in 6th place, sideways all over the place.
Wow.
Hartley will finish 7th, and it'll be Crooks and Stenberg rounding off the field after what was a very exciting first 2 laps there, and well, that was didn't really see anybody send it on lap 1, turn 2, neither the second lap as well, so very clean for these guys from the first heat, but as we all know, the later the night gets, the more frustration builds up.
Indeed, we do have results on screen, so we'll just go through them quickly. Against Emily Jones, the winner by 1.5 seconds over Blake Neck from both 4th and 5th on the grid, so good drives from them. Luca Jackman's holds station from 3rd to 3rd in that first heat, then Bo Albert from 9th, the very back of the field, getting into P4. Very strong result for Bo. Gavin Sattler in P5, and Joel Berkeley probably looking at what could have been starting P on pole, but ending up 6th place with a very bent up forward focus. Matt Hartley comes home 7th, Michael Crooks 8th, and then in Stenberg as well. Started P2, but issues early on over the jump forced him to drop well down, and he ends up P9, and I believe we'll go through the last chance qualifier to keep his hopes alive of staying in the racing tonight. But that was your first heat for tonight. 9 cars in at a very nice heat too, I think. Some good racing, some carnage as well, especially over the jump. We've already seen 1 victim. How many more will come? But while we wait for the servers to go up with Jay's blessing, we'll go for a quick break. And when we come back, we'll have the second heat of the night here, CPR Rallycross at Phoenix.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back to V8's Online for Cut Price Racing Rallycross Thursday nights here, hosted by OSR. And I'd tell you what, it's been a very nice first heat that we witnessed there. We had some of the big guns in there as well. I'd be expecting, or a good chunk actually, of the drivers we had in that split to at least get close to making the final, if not make it outright. So we had some great racing there. Didn't get too many send-its into Turn 2 Dive Bomb Central, as we probably should nickname it at this point. And it was generally a pretty clean race, really. We had the incident, obviously, with Stenberg at the jump and a little bit of a bump between Emily and Bo when they were battling. But otherwise, it was a pretty clean first race, which is always good to see. Always start the night on a positive note. So I'll quickly go through those results again in case you missed it at the start of or before the break. If you're just joining in, the one we watched, it was, if I get the right split open, that would help. I'll quickly just get that open now. There we go. So actually, sorry, we'll go through the two other splits. I have the one up that we had. I clicked the wrong one there, so apologies on that one. But for the other two splits we had Bob King, who was the victor in the other one of the other two splits that were running at the start there. He won over Mitchell McLeod, who was only 0.6 behind in the end in that split. Got the fastest lap though, and his average lap was pretty much bang on Bob's. So Mitchell looking very, very good to be in a chance of getting to the final despite not getting a qualifying lap and enjoying the last minute. So showing that talent that we know Mitch most certainly has plenty of. Daniel Ackland was in third, and it was Michael Healy ending up fourth, probably a little bit further down than he would like, so I'm sure we'll see him a bit closer to the front in future heats, because we know he's one of the quickest in the rallycross cars. I think he generally does a lot of the setup work for TTR from what I've been hearing from them. So very, very talented pair of hands, as we know, so expect to see him a bit further up in future heats. Simon Black, Mr. Admin himself, was P5, then it was Glenn Postlethwaite in P6, Clifford Chapman in P7. It looks like Matthew Feldman didn't start or an instant on the first lap, so that was that heat of racing. And the other one we had, it was a win for Mr. 6th place, number 88, Brenton Hobson. Ended up winning that heat there from Scott Lanark by 2.8 seconds, so a good solid win for Holbo to start his night of racing. Lachlan Smith in P3, then it was Lewis Hewitt in P4, Richard Brockfield P5, with Cam J. Taylor in 6th, a bit off the pace too, looking like he's struggling a bit here at Phoenix, which interesting to see how far he gets, because at pretty much every other track I've seen him race at, he's been right up the front with the top guys, but not looking quite as strong by the looks of it here at Phoenix, but we'll see how far he gets later on in the night. David Ross Smith in P7, and our own Reese Gardner ending up in P8, retiring by the looks of it from his split, so he'll be going through the last chance qualifier to try and keep his hopes alive of making it through the nights. Hayden Kirk in P9. So, just joining in the session now real quick. But yeah, Corey, who are you looking at for this heat?
Well, it's a short heat of 6 drivers in this one, so we're going to see maybe not a lot of exciting racing, maybe some really big sends into turn 1, but we got Emily Jones in here again. This is number 2 of 2 for tonight. Lewis Hewitt, Scott Larnack, Brookfield, Lick Molan, and Berkeley are in this split, so a lot of good drivers here. So I'm honestly, in this race, it's 10 laps. We could maybe have the first 3 laps of excitement, the rest maybe 1 lap, a train. But it's rallycross. We can't really expect or predict anything that's going to be right. So
yeah, for sure, it'll be a very interesting heat. As I just joined in right on cue. Good stuff there, but let's get ready to grumble here. 6 cars, so as we say, it's a bit of a shorter race this one, a bit of a smaller split. Doesn't mean the racing will not be any more exciting, as we've seen all these drivers are really quite talented in the rallycross cars, like quite literally every one of them are quite quick in these cars, so we've certainly got the quality in the field here to have a good heat. Looks like it'll be Emily Jones-Stowe from pole in P2, Luca Jackaman 3, and then it's Hewitt, Brockfield, and Berkeley. But the lights are on now, and we are ready to go here for Heat 2 of CPR Rallycross here on Thursday nights, V8's online. Ready to go, and we are away for this second heat. It looks like a pretty even start at the front. Emily Jones and Larnack are going to go side by side into the first corner. Brockfield looking around the outside as well. But Jones was a bit of bump and barge further back. But Jones is going to get the move done, be in the lead as they come through for the first time. Who's going to take the Joker? Larnack takes it, and it looks like Brockfield as well, and I think Berkeley may have snuck in as well. He has, so half-half at the moment. It's going to be interesting actually to watch where Brookfield and Berkeley come out, because they might still come out with everybody else. Let's have a look.
No, Berkeley, they will. They'll just come, or they'll just come out and grab Jones, or...
Oh, here comes Berkeley. Oh, it's always risky going side by side through here. Oh,
the dangerous one. Oh, Brookfield nearly in the tyre barrier. Berkeley, this is going to be exciting, but now Larnack is checked out to a pretty sizable 2-second lead, and Berkeley up the inside. Yeah. Jones is going to follow him as well, and we'll take the Joker. Very late call there.
I think it was Lewis Hewitt there, nearly going to the back of Brockfield, making a very late call to do it.
One of the latest Joker calls I've seen in a long time there.
Indeed, yeah, but as they go through, look who's leading. Emily Jones just beats out Scott Larnack to be in the lead of the field on the first Joker. Both these drivers have done 1 Joker now, so they are on even ground at the moment. And Larnack looking very strong, showing his talent in these cars as well. We've seen him in various machines, particularly the Porsche sticks out for me, being very, very fast in them. But showing his stuff in Rallycross, he now takes his second Joker, trying to get some clean air and try and pull away from Emily Jones and jump her in the Joker phase effectively. And he should obviously come out a good chunk ahead. But Emily Jones still got to do her Joker, and she'll be looking to get back through. Look at Jackaman also does his. That's his first Joker. Will come out P3, will he? Just about. Yep, just going to beat out Joel Berkeley, but he's done a Joker as well. Lewis Hewitt's done one, as has Brockfield.
Very wide there through the corner there for Hewitt. He was way off the line, the racing line that is, but Gleekemolen was out. I think he's one of the last people to take his first joke at this race. Some of them are waiting to lap 4 or 5 to do it, but he's done it on his 3rd lap. Berkeley's a little bit all over the place there, going a little bit wide to the last corner, and just missing the tyre barriers on the landing and the jump. But up front, Larnack has got a good sizable gap to Jones, nearly the same gap from Jones to Gleekemolen, and Berkeley's wanting to get it very wide out of the sweeping right, just misses the tyre barrier, both of them actually.
Indeed, yeah, and Hewitt and Brockfield having a nice battle at the back as well for P5. Brockfield trying to work his way past Hewitt, but Hewitt holding station for now. The first 4, looks like everyone not taking another joker. Jackman, I'm just looking, did his a couple of laps ago, and Berkeley obviously did his at the start. So I think everyone has only done the one. Yeah, so that. Yeah, except for Larnack is the only one who has done both his jokers, but everybody else has only done the one, so they've got one in reserve. But they're all pretty much on equal footing from 2nd to 6th. Looks like Hewitt's just starting to pull away from Brockfield now, which is what I was kind of expecting once he did get up to pace. But a good battle between those two, and a good battle between Jackman and Berkeley as well, as they fight over the podium position, final podium position in this race. Who's going to take the joker? Nobody. They're still holding on, so they're trying to play each other at the moment. It's a bit of a mental game now. They're trying to see who's going to flinch. Berkeley, he's in the tyre barrier. Oh, there we go. He just took the jump a bit too hard. And round he goes, and he's still going to come out ahead of the 2 behind, but he drops a long way.
He's going to hit more tyre barriers as well on that recovery.
Have a look at what happened there. I think it's the same thing pretty much as Stenberg did in Heat 1. I think he just went in a bit too hot. Didn't quite get the angle right. And yeah, the landing was a bit awkward and it's just gone straight into the tyre barrier. It's so easy to do that if you just hit it at the wrong angle and not quite heading in the right direction.
And Jones on cue is going to take the joker and will take the lead and would be the original win at the moment. But she was closing. Sorry, she was closing on. If I can get my on Larnack, she was closing on Larnack there for the past couple of laps, and she must have been thinking, when do I take the joker to make the most advantage? And well, she is now pulled out to a 2.3 second gap, and will it be extending that to the end of the race? But well,
yeah, it's looking good, isn't it? Because she's done high 39s, low 38s pretty consistently so far, whereas Larnack more doing sort of mid to dipping into the low 38s. So it looks like on consistent pace, Emily's just got the edge at the moment. So she should be able to hold on here as they'll come over, I believe, 2 to go next time by. So she should have it, but we'll see as these closing stages done. Luca Jackman's still going on. He's yet to do another joker, remember. So he's got one in reserve, so he's probably going to come out pretty close to Larnack. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out side by side there. Could even go for 2nd when he does do that. Joel Berkeley is still holding on in P4, having done both his jokers. Same with Brockfield. And Hewitt now, I think, has just done his 2nd joker, and it looks like he's probably had some issues.
He hasn't done his 2nd joker yet, I believe. He has.
Look at how bad that's crabbing too.
He's had a crabbing car for the past 2 laps, and also did hit the tyre barrier there before, so he's got to.
Oh, here we go, Jackman, taking the joker, and he's going to come out side by side nearly with Larnack. Larnack's just going to get him now. Teammates bearing in mind, so they don't want to be going too hard. Oh no, Jackman getting a few blinks there. Not a good time to get blinks when you're right behind your teammate. Last lap now on the battle for 2nd is well and truly on. Jackman.
Oh, he's getting again. A lot of big blinks there for Jackman.
He's gone. He's gone for good by the looks of it. Oh, here he comes. Oh, he's back again. Oh, this must be a bit scary for Scott seeing VW appearing and then disappearing right behind him.
Especially his teammate, don't forget.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But it looks like as long as he keeps it on the straight and narrow, it should be Scott's 2nd place. But once again,
talking about popularity and talent, Emily Jones will come out the last corner and get 2 for 2 tonight, with Larnack and Jackman, ERT teammates, coming over 2nd and 3rd. Berkeley, after what happened last race, would be a bit of a good sign for him. Finishes 4th in the very beaten up TTR car. 5th place is Brookfield, and sadly dead last with a very crabbing and damaged car would be Lewis Hewitt in the TTL machine.
Indeed, he's been a tough one for him, but he got to the end, and I suppose that's at least you can take that away from it. But there you go, a good 2nd heat, here for CPR Rallycross. We'll quickly whiz through those results for you. So Emily Jones started pole and takes the win once again. Another very, very controlled performance, really, from Emily Jones. There, wins by 4.2 seconds over Scott Larnack, who leads home his teammate, Luca Jackman, who was in third there. Joel Berkeley ends up P4, a bit of a difficult one for him with Richard Brockfield in P5. Then Lewis Hewitt rounds out the field in 6th spot. A difficult heat for him after getting damage earlier on in the race, having to crab it home for the rest of it. So there you go. That was Heat 2 of CPR Rallycross. It was a pretty good race, obviously a bit of a smaller field than the first one, but still produced some fantastic racing, and should be a sign of what's to come for the rest of the night as we close down towards the elusive and rewarding final. So we'll take another quick break here before the next set of sessions go up, and we'll be back in just a tick here for Cut Price Racing Rallycross Thursday nights here on V8's Online.
Red Bull GRCs are now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Hello and welcome back to V8's Online coverage of the OSR Tough Price Racing Rallycross Series. And we're at beautiful Phoenix Rallycross circa 2008. And with me tonight is Thomas Hinds. And well, we've already seen 2 heats, and right about now we're going to have a little geezy and broadcast and also watch the LCQ. Going to be a lot of sending, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, obviously, as we know, the top guys go through in the LCQ, so if you don't have a good race in it, that's your night over. So a bit of desperation will probably play into it. Although, to be fair, if you get a good result in heat, you don't get into last chance at all. So there's usually that desperation there as well, especially for the guys at the back of the heats. But it should be a very interesting little bit of racing you have ahead. Looks like it should be, if it's not a full field, it'll be close to a full field for this as well. So we're going to have a very packed field of a lot of drivers very desperately trying not to end their night, basically, is how it's going to play out. So it'll be a very, very fascinating race to watch. But it should be just on the screen now, we'll have a look at the what's on for this month and what's ahead to look forward to here on V8's Online. So next after tonight, we're going to actually have the Raw Forza 24 on the weekend with the Mustangs, the Kia Optima, and the Mazda MX-5 Cup car. Should be an absolute blast. 2.4 hours of Daytona. We'll be broadcasting the 0225 GMT race, which will be 1:25 Sydney time. And I'll hopefully be leading you through that one. Should be a blast. The cars are a lot of fun to drive, and obviously a little bit sold the ones that will be used in the actual Daytona 24, but used as a kind of prep warm-up for the full thing. So it should be a very good little bit of, I would say night, but it's going to be day for us, so basically day of racing ahead. So certainly if you're around on Saturday the 13th of January, if you've got a bit of free time at about 1:30 Sydney time, be sure to pop over to the V8's Online, have a little bit of a watch of that. After that, we have back on the official series, the official V8 starting again with the broadcasts next Monday. It'll be at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for that first broadcast round back. It'll be, I believe round 5 of the series. It has been going, obviously, it's not been broadcast over the break, so with varying attendance being New Year's and Christmas, but should be a very, very exciting broadcast to look forward to. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in the V8s does produce a pretty exciting and varied racing. It is quite a difficult circuit to nail down in those cars, so expect a lot of action in that. And that'll be going, obviously, once again every Monday. Then we've got Cup Price once again next Thursday, again going every Thursday as per normal. And then it's the Saturday Night Drinks Lance Train Endurance Series at Nürburgring on Saturday night, so be sure to come along for that. And the final round as well, so all up for grabs, and it will be, I'm sure, very, very hard fought. We saw at Spa how competitive the fields are. I'm sure we'll see it again at Nürburgring, so be sure to join us for some good laughs and banter, but also some fantastic racing on the 20th of January. Then we have the big one, the Daytona 24 on the 21st of January, and that will be, we'll be broadcasting the third quarter of that from hours 12 through to 18 here on V8s Online, as obviously everyone will be mixing up who's going to be doing what. 8 through to 16, there we go. So there you go. That'll be our time zone there for that. Should be a very exciting one there, being the big one, one of the first big ones of the year, the special events. Then a very, very good event and a very uplifting event for an awesome cause. We got Tristo's Midget Shootout on Tuesday the 23rd. Definitely come along for that. It's for an awesome cause. And the midgets, who doesn't like some midget racing, man? They are awesome, awesome fun cars to drive and watch. And then we have the return of the Oceanic Endurance Championship on the 28th of January, with the Oceanic Sprint Championship starting up its new season at the end of the month on the 31st to round it up. So it's going to be a very, very exciting month of racing ahead, Corey, and it's all here on V8s Online.
It's going to be a very full first month, so I'm guessing as well February, March, April, May, all the way to December this year will be full jam-packed of racing watch, especially majors happening around in, I believe, starting next month.
Yeah, yep.
So...
No, we want to watch as well because we'll have broadcasts here of that too, and it will just be generally an awesome event. So if you like varied racing, because the whole point of that series, of course, is going to be all sorts of different events utilising various different cars that are available in iRacing. You're going to have some classic racing with the Lotus 79, you're going to have some IndyCar, GT3, V8s, classic IMSA, there you go. So all sorts of cars will be raced in that series. Daytona 500 as well. So pretty much it will be the Jack of all trades championship. Whoever wins that is the Jack of all trades, basically. And that's what makes it fascinating, is that it's going to be so varied from round to round.
But also as well, the trophy is fittingly named the Mario Andretti Trophy to the champion of the year. And I've been looking around on their Discord. They're a very beautiful community to hang around with, and I think they're very amazed about the amount of people that have signed up for the international series or international part of the major series. It's it gives me, and I believe all of the guys here at V8s Online, a very uplifting spirit, and also the community as well, that we have a lot of drivers signing up for something that is to us brand new, and it's going to be an amazing series to watch, and I'm personally driving in it. So if you do see me, I'll be in a very badly painted car. So, but right at the moment, we're doing some rallycross racing, and
and yes, Jay is racing in it too. So our race getting on the wheel once again. So we're all. I think it's one of those series. I think that you're just gonna have to have a go. It's one of those things that, because it's so varied, you always have a chance, because it's changing every round. The playing field basically gets tossed on its head. The cards get thrown up in the air, they get scattered around the room every round. We're left sitting here not sure what to expect. So I think if you like some variety, you like to spice things up a bit with your racing, then definitely look at that national series. It's going to be very, very good fun. 53 hours live in February too, by the way, here on V8s Online with our schedule. Going to be an absolutely packed month. Already is for this month, but it's going to be a packed one here. But we are to the race already. That's how quick this time's gone. So seeing now what's on for the next month, but let's get back to the racing here tonight. CPR Rallycross on pole here for, I believe, the last chance qualifier here we've got on for this heat is Simon Black, Mr. Admin Supremo himself, David Ross Smith in second, and Lewis Hewitt third, Glenn Postlethwaite fourth, and Lachlan Smith is fifth, with Reese Gardner rounding out the field in sixth. So it's all on the table here for these guys. Again, this is the last chance qualifier, so they're trying to keep their chances alive tonight. And so there, I'm sure, will be a bit of desperation on display here potentially. But we are on the grid ready to go. Lights are on. And we are green for this last chance qualifier here at CPR Rallycross. And Simon Black has got a very nice start.
Oh, they're 4 wide. Go get it together. 3 wide. Oh. No one has hit anything yet. Oh, there's a little tap. Everything goes around.
Oh, something. Yeah, positive. Yeah.
And they're 2 wide. Who's going to take the Joker? Smith will take the Joker.
Oh, Reese gone very wide. Whoa, Reese's gone all the way off the track there. Taking to the...
Reese taking the shortcut jump there. Didn't really want to risk it, but...
Fair enough, I think. It is a 10-lap race, so there is a fair bit of time to make up, some lost time in the first lap. You're better off surviving, I think, in this first lap than throwing it all away when you're only a 10th into the race, not even. So, fair enough there from Reese, just taking it nice and calm. Lachlan Smith at the moment leading the way, took his Joker on the first lap, I believe was the only car. So Postlethwaite and Smith, the only two to take a Joker, and Smith takes it again. So Smith getting these out of the way early, and it may not be a bad call because he's going to be in a lovely bit of clean air. Simon Black
same as well for Yep. So, and also Reese is in there as well. So I believe now Hewitt is the only one not to take a Joker this race.
Yeah, I believe him, and I don't think...
Oh no, sorry, Ross Smith is not taking a Joker as well. He's fallen way back, so... He's got to work his way up to try and get into a spot of getting out of the LCQ and get to another race tonight. But he's crabbing a lot, so that might be his race done. But we'll go back up. We'll go back up to Simon Black.
Taking his Joker, yep. He's gonna come out for just behind.
He's hit the wall twice there, not really getting the exit right, and Smith will beat him out.
Probably the first victim we've seen in the Heat Swift broadcast of that wall. We were saying how much thinner it is now and how much more precise you have to be to not hit the wall on the XD Joker. And Simon Black finding out there is probably if he wasn't going to beat out Smith, he was going to come out side by side with him. And that little knock has now dropped him behind Smith. And Smith's now got a good about 2-second lead or so, 1.5 seconds at the line. Oh, as he clips the walls, he has towards the jump using all the road and some. But Smith leading the way at the moment from Simon Black. Both have done both their Jokers, so they're all tied up now. Glenn Fossil's right behind has done both of his as well. Lewis Hewitt's only done the one, so he should be effective third. David Ross Smith. Oh, it just went back to him in P6. He's gone tumbling off the track just before the jump.
And now there's a battle brewing. Sorry to interrupt, a battle brewing. Postlethwaite, Gardner, Hewitt, they're all in here.
Yeah, and Gardner, and I think Gardner's actually the only one. No, Gardner.
Gardner has a look, taps him. Lucky didn't go around.
Yeah, Posy did just stopping on the apex, because I remember as Hewitt takes his second Joker now, remember with these cars, they're 4-wheel drive, so on the asphalt, you almost want to stop and shoot them because of the way they are. The understeer is very severe. Oh, as the leads have come together as well, we're hearing they have Simon Black and Lachlan Smith. As Lewis Hewitt now is right behind Simon Black in P3. And look at that, Posy and Gardner are right there too. The top 5, or the 5 left in this race, all well within the same track with each other. 5.2 seconds covers the whole field, so this could really be anyone's game. But Smith from 5th on the grid is leading the way. A really, really controlling race from him so far. But he's got, the rest of the field pretty much right behind him in hop shoot.
So... Here's a good thing. Smith has taken all of his Jokers. Black has taken all of his Jokers. Hewitt has also done the same thing. All of his Jokers have been taken.
Everyone has.
Yeah. So everyone's taken. So this is now it's now everything or nothing. They're all basically. It's going to be if you're not first, you're last, because this is gonna be a very exciting race here with what would be now 4 laps to go.
Yeah, but Lachlan Smith at 38 flat, he just pumped out that lap well quicker than Simon Black and pretty much everybody else in the field, apart from Glenn Postlethwaite. He did a 38, won that lap right up behind Lewis Hewitt. Now this is for P3 in this last chance qualifier. Reese Gardner just behind, holding station at the moment, but Lewis Hewitt looking under threat here from Glenn Postlethwaite. It's looking like Lachlan Smith has the pace. He keeps pumping out those low 38s, so see David Ross Smith in the background's gone back out on track, trying to get a finish out of this one. He's not, probably still be over either way. This battle for third really heating up, and not that far behind Simon Black, who's not really dancing down the road too much.
And I think Postlethwaite might have a look here in the turn 2. No, he's too far back.
Hewitt covering as well. He went to the middle of the track there to cover any attempted dive bomb there from Posy. He pulled back in the end. We're going to have 2 laps to go next time by, and Lewis Hewitt under big threats here from, as they hit, they come down from that jump so violently. Posy nearly drilling him, as he went a very narrow line compared to Lewis Hewitt. And that gives Reese Gardner a sniff here too as well. And they're not really dropping back from Simon Black too much. So the second down to the back of the field and fifth, all really close here.
And Smith has pulled out a 37.9, so he's really pulling away.
Yeah, he's dead. He's down. He's gone, isn't he? He's put the package in the mail, gone, I'm done for the day, heading home. Bye, boys. I'll see you all next time. So Smith on an absolute charge. Well, really hitting that jump really enthusiastically as well. But it's looking like Smith is going to probably take the win at the moment, as the rest of the field not going to be able to match him. But Black holding on in second for now. But he's got Lewis Hewitt, Glenn Postlethwaite and Reese Gardner all closing down as they're about to start their final lap. And we have a cracking battle for this second spot right on our hands.
Really, at the moment, Postlethwaite has been behind him for nearly all the race, maybe from lap 3 or 4, but he's really pushing that car sideways out of 1. He's got there might be a big send here into the very flowy right-hander here. Through the jump they come, they're all tapping that wall there. Oh, Gardner, a little bit of a crossed up on the landing.
Indeed,
but Hewitt's gone wide, Postlethwaite's gone to the inside, but Lachlan Smith will come over. Black in the background. Smith is...
Yeah, Blackie's hit the barrier, and I think Lewis Hewitt is going to...
this is for everything.
Side by side,
Postlethwaite will come home for second, Hewitt third, Gardner fourth, and Simon Black with last corner Fleming to finish dead last.
And he drilled that dead on as well. You could see it there. I think he just saw it as he closed in that he was going to probably hit it. He's drilled it square on, done about nearly 2 complete spins. And in the end, that is... and then, oh my goodness, what a great finish that was to the heat. Old Hewitt there. I think the tyre barrier ended up sort of wrecking it for him, because he was probably going to beat Posy over the line if he hadn't hit that tyre barrier, but tyre bundles always tend to be right where you don't want them.
Well, especially at Phoenix, Phoenix, they're always like that. So, what a last corner that was to finish off the race.
Very exciting.
Yeah, and we'll get the results. I believe they're on screen at the moment. But Lachlan Smith will come home first. Second place will be Postlethwaite. That'll be a Beetle 1-2 for the LCQ, meaning that what would be Lewis Hewitt, Reese Gardner, Simon Black, and David Ross Smith will go home tonight, and sadly won't get any more racing in.
Very exciting end to that race, as we already said. Unbelievable stuff. It just shows with Rallycross you can never completely count yourself out. I mean, Reese nearly got himself into a podium there in the end, all because of an incident from someone on the last lap. So never can count yourself out in Rallycross, and that's why we see a lot of times as well when drivers have crashes like David Ross Smith had, they still go back out to try and get a finish, because you never know, if you just go out there and get a finish and you're not too far down the order, you might end up getting a good result just because everyone else has crashes or instance ahead of you. You just never know with Rallycross, you really don't. So very exciting last chance qualifier there, very thrilling finish of, well, showing what we're probably going to be expecting for the rest of the night to come. We're closing in on the final here for Cup Price Racing Rallycross, hosted by OSR. We'll have a quick break now, and then we'll be back for the next race as we close down on the final. Hope you'll be enjoying the show. We'll be back in just a moment.
Red Bull GRCs are now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
intro. Thomas, you can intro because.
Welcome back to V8s Online here for Cut Price Racing Rallycross Thursday nights, hosted by OSR. And it has been a very exciting night of racing so far here at Phoenix. Probably my favourite of the Rallycross tracks, no bias at all. But it has produced some fantastic racing so far. Not too many dive bombs at Dive Bomb Corner just yet, but still plenty of time for us to see some of that as we close in on the final. We'll have this heat here. We've got a last chance qualifier running alongside. And the next round will be the last chance qualifier, and then we'll have our final sorted for tonight, where we can find our winner for the racing tonight. And going to be a very hotly contested one because we have a very, very talented field of drivers here tonight. And I'll quickly, before we look at some related V8s Online news that you hype a bit up here, I'll have a quick look through the results from the last round of heats that we weren't watching there before for the break. And so in the other heat, I think it was split 1. I'll just quickly check that. Split 2, sorry. In split 2 we had, or race 2, we had Cam J. Taylor taking the win with a 37.5 fastest lap. The sort of pace I was expecting. I was thinking when I saw him towards the back of that first heat that it wasn't where we usually see Cam J. Taylor. It looks like he may have had a bit of a intense, possibly a bit too much in that first heat, and was on pace in the last one, taking the win. So he's progressing through nicely. Bo Albert followed him through in P2, only 7/10 down too, so good race there from Bo. Kurt Stenberg getting some of that mojo back as well after the first heat. In third, Kevin Sattler in P4, looking very, very strong in that Volkswagen. Then we have Richard Brockfield, Daniel Ackland, Clifford Chapman, and Joel Berkeley looks like he retired 4 laps down there in the end, so a bit of a difficult night for Joel so far. And in the other heat, it was Bob King coming out the winner, looking very, very strong tonight, as he usually does in anything dirt related. He's a very, very strong driver in the dirt oval scene, as well as in Rallycross, looking strong here tonight. Blake Neck followed him home with Brenton Hobson, Mr. 6th place himself in P3 with Luca Jackerman in P4. Emily Jones ended up P5, so a difficult race for her there. And then Mitchell McLeod was P6, rounding out the finishes with Scott Larnack and Michael Healy not finishing. So a very, very jam-packed heat, that one. Nearly sort of lineup you would look out in the finals. So there could be some big names being knocked out if that one anything to go by. But we are looking like we are getting ready to go for the next heat here. Minute to go. And I think I might be in the wrong one. I might be in the last chance qualifier, Paxton. Oh no, I'm in the right one. There we go. Yep, okay. Thank you there, Jay, for saving that. I thought I got in the wrong session, but we're good to go here for this next heat. Just under a minute, as we said, till the race. But before we go to that, real quick, before we go to the grid, Jay should quickly be able to put the graphic on for the V8s Online. The V8 Scops. Yeah, Supercar Premier Series. The calendar was released recently. Should be on your screens right now. We have a cracker of a season ready to go for that. As you can see, a very, very sparkling lineup of races. Quite a few short tracks as well, which I think should really spice up the racing for the new season. 6 sprints in all, with reverse sprints in there as well. The Enduro is going to be at Montreal, or Imola, Montreal, and of course Bathurst for the big 1000. The Retro Round being in Imola, and then you've got 250s in there as well, with Phillip Island being a 250 this season as well. So some great tracks. Oh, there you go. Can catch up to real life race as well. So going to be a very, very nice season. We finish at Road America as well, which again, like last season, which I think is a great call because Road America really suits the V8s to a T. But there's the calendar for you. Dates there as well. Save those dates. Certainly be on the watch for that because it will be a cracking season ahead. But the grid is lining up and should be on screen right about now for you for this. Well, we'll be the last heat before we head to the last chance qualifier and then the final. Cam J. Taylor is going to be on pole here from Bo Albert. There's Kurt Stenberg, Gavin Sattler, Emily Jones in P5 with Daniel Ackland, Scott Larnack, Joel Berkeley, Lachlan Smith, and Simon Black rounds out your field for this heat. A jam-packed heat. We've got a full field here for this one, so plenty of cars tumbling in to the first couple of corners. And if there's any chance of seeing a bit of carnage, a bit of shenanigans tonight, I think this might be it. So
and also, sorry to get in there, Henzy, but this is the first split with more buggies and beat up when they are Fords, but red lights are on, revs your eyes, put the handbrakes on, gear in, and we are green. All the buggies and Fiesta Storm in the turn 1, we're 3 wide. Look at the fall there. Turn 1, there's no contact at all, no beating back. Turn 2, there we go, and Jones over.
Oh, wow. Wow,
Jones is over. Wow, and they're still going. Jones is still rolling.
Big
Oh
instant.
wow, Berkeley look like the back half of that field all involved in it, and half of them, or all of them, out the back there take the Joker. Oh, who's that? Someone's also rolling.
Yeah.
Everybody. Oh,
Replay on the screen as well of that first or the second corner
Look like-
instant. And if you look at it, yeah, it looked like Cam J. Taylor just locked him up. Went a bit hot trying to pass. I think it's Gavin Sattler there. They kind of locked together. And apparently Jones on the outside had nowhere to go, and a bit of an innocent bystander in that one. And then obviously with that part of the circuit, nowhere to go. A lot of the guys at the back Constantine it into that one. So a lot of casualties early on. Cam J. Taylor's Beetle is not really a Beetle right now. It's just a bit of metal stuck together on wheels. That's how badly damaged it is. But
And-
look through
and
where the
also-
field is now.
but
Quite
here's
openly.
the thing, Kinsey. That Joker, like, you know how we said that nobody's died there yet that we've seen. Well, we had both of the Gavin Sadler racing cars. Both of them had a bit of a moment out of the Joker, but one of them's still going, or both of them, I believe. Yeah, both of them now still going again.
Yeah, Sattler letting go, but well, as Linux around as well, so and Cam Taylor, they're both heavily damaged. Looks like Emily Jones has put it into the garage, too badly damaged, so a lot of victims from that first lap. We've been waiting all night for something to happen there at turn 2, and with a full field here in this heat, it's all come to a head. And yeah, it looked like, as I said, just a bit of a flashing of lines in the end. When you're going 3 wide into the air, it's not always going to work out, and this heat is a bit of a showcase of that. But in all of that, Bo Albert managed to get through cleanly. As we're back live now, Bo Albert has managed to come out cleanly in the lead now. He's got a lapped Kevin Sattler behind him, so that's not for position. Second place is actually Lachlan Smith, who also managed to get through that relatively unscathed. And it's Daniel Ackland in P3 with Kurt Stenberg in P4. Joel Berkeley's a long way back in 5th. And Larnack still going in 6th. And then Cam J. Taylor and Gavin Sattler round out your runners. But really at the moment, probably the top 4 are really the only ones in with a shout of a decent result. Everyone else is a bit too far back to really have a play in it. But I think the battle for third's probably where it's at. Stenberg trying to get past Daniel Ackland. TTR versus Senji. Lachlan Smith not too far up the road as well. So there it was. We're waiting for it. Yeah, we're waiting for that instant, and looks like it has happened. But either way, Albert yet to do any jokers. Oh wait, sorry, Albert's done 2. I was looking at practice results there, wrong screen. Albert's done 2, as has Smith. As I think Ackland's just going through to do his second now. Yep, he's going through to get his done, so he will jump Smith. Puts him in effective second, I believe. Yep, just behind Albert, not too far behind though. So I want to watch out for. He's gonna, yeah, good stuff there from Gavin Sattler as well, going off the track to make sure he doesn't get in the way of these leaders. Good observation there from Gavin. But Daniel Ackland is now second, not far behind Albert, so he's right there with a chance. Smith's done both of his jokers, and Stenberg's still to do one too. So at this point, Stenberg might have a shot still of jumping Lachlan for that third spot. Able to lead well and truly on there as Albert coming under pressure now from Daniel Ackland, who's on a charge in the SSR car, in the right place at the start to avoid most of the shenanigans. Started 6th, sitting T2 at the moment. This could be a bit of a right place, right time scenario here for Daniel Ackland.
And also as well, guess who's closing up on that? Lachlan Smith as well. And Stenberg's following just behind, so it's going to be nearly a 4-car battle for the lead. And also, yeah, Stenberg's got 1 joker left to use, so give him maybe a couple laps. He might use it on the last lap, surprise some people. But at the moment, Bo Albert in the Evolution Racing team, see a little bit of it. He's got a charity on the side of his car here. I believe, I not really know a lot of the story about it, but he's got it on there. I believe for the next couple of weeks. We'll have to go find a link for years, but it's for a very good cause. But at the moment, he's getting caught up by Ackland, and Smith is catching up as well. So 3-car train for the lead. Anyone?
Yeah, at the moment it is Ackland and Smith. Actually, Smith a lot quicker on that lap. Did 38 flat, more or less, in his Beetle. Ackland was a 38.5, 38.6 for Albert. So Smith looking the quickest of the lot. Stenberg matching the leaders with 38.5 as well, but dropping back a little bit and maybe a bit too far out to really play a hand in this one. But the battle on for the lead is well and truly on with Albert, Ackland and Smith all together. But Smith looking really pacey in that Beetle. You can visibly see him closing in on the top 2, and he's still got a joker to run, remember, so he's got a joker up his sleeve, and at the rate he's going, he just positions himself behind these 2, and he takes that joker. We have 2 laps to go. Oh, he has done 2. Oh, sorry, my bad. Steny's the one who's got one to go. There we go. Getting my drivers mixed up. But even so, that pace, he's just at 37.9. His pace is very, very strong right now. The lead is on. Albert only did 38.5. Ackland to 38 flat. So Albert looking like the vulnerable one.
And Stenberg takes his Joker lap. So he might get in this battle here.
Let's have a look. He's going to be right with it. Yeah, look at this. He's right alongside, I think, with that battle. Just behind.
Oh, he's going to be... He's going to slot in. Oh, gives him a tap. And they all keep going.
Wow.
Wow.
Comes straight into the pack and gives Ackland.
And now Ackland is right on the tail of good old Bo Albert in turn 2.
Albert not.
Oh, looks at it as well.
Yeah, Albert's looking like he's struggling. I thought his pace has been a bit better than this in the earlier heats, but he looks like he's struggling a bit at the moment. It is the last lap of the race.
Here we
go.
Four-way
battle for the lead.
Four-way battle for the lead, and we only have half a circuit to go. Ackland, Stenberg, and Smith all looking for that lead, well, that win. Ackland's gone wide, Stenberg looking for it, Smith is with them, they're too wide for second place. Albert will come across the line to win, but there's still a battle going on for second. Ackland will get it, so Albert, Ackland, and Stenberg. Oh, Smith just was about to get caught there, but what a good battle there for the win. And then fifth place will be Larnack, and then last of the runners on the lead lap, crabbing very hard as well, is Joel Berkeley.
Yeah, they both give the wall a bit of a drilling just to show their frustrations as Larnack, I think, looked like he must have favoured the Beetle there. I saw he was in a Focus last I saw, so Larnack trying to luck in the Beetle there.
Actually, sorry, we still got Cam Taylor come across the line, still on the lead lap to finish off the lead lap runners, and then Jones, she was the last runner on the circuit, so we'll go through the results now as everybody is coming across the line, with Albert doing some celebratory donuts. Albert will win with Ackland second, Stenberg third, and then fourth will be Smith. 1.1 seconds separating that top four, and then Scott Larnack, Joel Berkeley, Cam Taylor, and Emily Jones will be the last runners. The DNFs would be Gavin Sadler and Simon Black, not completing a lap, sadly.
Yeah, I think actually Blackie there was just in for admin purposes, which is why he didn't line up. It was a 9 and 9 split, so Blackie in for admin purposes, as he I think was knocked out. He had the instant in the last chance qualifier, but either way, a very, very exciting race there in the end. A good battle to the flag, 1.1 seconds covering the top four, so a very, very close battle at the front. Bro Albert does just come out victorious, only just though, and that'll be a sign for him too, because all three of the cars behind him were doing quicker laps, so he's going to have to step up his game if he wants to have a chance in the final. But the big news from that is probably the likes of Cam Taylor and Emily Jones being down the back. They're going to be fighting hard in the last chance qualifier to keep their hopes alive of making it into that final. But we've got one last chance qualifier to come for you after the break, and then we'll have the final for tonight for this round of Cup Price Racing Rallycross here Thursday nights on V8's Online. We'll have a quick break now. Hope you're enjoying the show. We'll be back in just a moment.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back to Cut Price Racing Rallycross here, Thursday nights, hosted by OSR here at Phoenix Raceway, International Raceway, circa 2008 for this round of the championship. We're at the last chance qualifiers. This is the last race before we go through to the final after this and decide the winner for tonight's racing. And we were just discussing over the break as well, with the quality of field we've had here tonight, there's really quite literally a dozen or more people who could have a chance, realistically, of even winning the final if they're just in the right spot. We've seen in that last race, there were a lot of big names in that last race. It was quite a packed race, and there were a lot of guys who did get affected by that first lap incident. So all it takes is to be in that wrong place at the wrong time, and you could be the quickest person in the field, and that could be your race over. And if it happens at the final, then you're not going to win it. So it's looking up and shaping up to possibly be one of our best finals yet, Corey.
Exactly, and at the moment, we've got the LCQ here, the last one of the night, so if this is going to be, this might be near or as hectic as what the final would be, so we're going to see a lot of sending. Maybe what we saw last time is a bit of a prelude to what will happen in the next two heats, so we shall find out. We still have another 10 laps plus another 10 for the finale, so 20 laps all up of racing to go for tonight. Hopefully it'll be the best 20 laps you'll see so far this week.
Yeah, I think it's shaping up to be that way with the way the racing has been going tonight. We do have a qualifying session here for this last chance qualifier, so we do have that back in for this and obviously the final, so that each driver gets 3 laps to set their best laps. So big chance for all the drivers to put themselves in the prime spot on the grid, making it ever more important that you get that right. And I mean, again, this is the last chance qualifier, and it is a just stacked field. You've got Joel Berkeley, you've got Cam J. Taylor, who after that first heat shenanigans, like he won the last one, looking on pace once again, as you'd expect from him, and showing some very, very strong pace for Rallycross. And you've got Richard Brockfield, Emily Jones, Gavin Sattler, Glenn Postlethwaite, Scott Larnack, Luca Jacobman, and Michael Healy is your field for this one. And I mean, nearly every one of the drivers in here have a chance of, if not winning the final, of getting a good result.
Well, as we saw from Emily Jones tonight, her nighters went from good, sweeping 2 from 2, and then not the one we broadcasted, but the one before that, one we missed out on, she, I believe, was just into the next heat. And then, as you would have seen from that heat, as we're in the LCQ, she sadly got pelted, rolled over on turn 1, and, well, she did come over the line 3 laps down, but, well, she's got to make up for it here. If she wants to win tonight, she'll have to prove herself against what will be a very strong field here.
Yeah, indeed, as they're just finishing up practice now. Look at Jackman, I'm noticing back in the focus as well, so some switching and changing going on throughout the field. All drivers trying out each of the 2 cars on offer to try and find an extra 10th. Every 10th matters here at this point of the night when the pace is so close. You really do need to pull out all the stops to have a chance of getting that good result. So qualifying here for this last chance qualifier, 3 laps for each driver to put in their best lap, sets them on the grid for this race, and then we'll have our final sorted for the final race of the night, which, as we said, should be an absolutely fantastic one ahead. But I think I'm trying to find who actually would be the first one out on track. It looks like, by the looks of it, as Emily Jones taking a joke there to try and cut down on that time, and we probably will end up watching.
It was Postlethwaite that took it out on the track first, but some guys taking jokers, some are not. But Jones will come across the line to start her lap, the first one to do so.
Indeed, so it comes through turn 1, chucking it in there. You really have to have faith in the car to grip through there, balancing on the edge of grip and into dive bomb central there. Get it pulled up nice and quick so you can power out of the corner as quick as you can, really straight line that exit. Keep it tight there to the right hand side to line you up, pull the jump here, go over the jump, make sure you don't drift too wide, hit those tyre bundles on the right, always inviting. And then you're up into this sweeping right hander on the right side, or left side, sorry, there, the exit of the Joker as well. Your sweep around here, balancing on the edge grip again, trying to balance on the right amount of slide, the right amount of straightness, straighten up for the start-finish line, and there's the lap of Phoenix International Raceway Rallycross layout. She sets a 37.987 as her first lap, puts up to P2 for now. Michael Healy has just picked her with a 37.969. He's going to go back to the garage as well, so it looks like he's going to try and restart for his last couple of runs. Everyone else, by the looks of it, is going to continue on their way. 3/10 separating the 6 cars that have put in a lap so far, as Cam Taylor now takes the top, 37.935, and they're still coming in, but there's still only 3/10 between every driver that's done a lap. As Jackaman only a 39.5 for him, so we're looking to really improve on that. But wow, how close it is right now.
Yeah, well, it's for some reason we've run. Oh, and Jones is 37.7. I was about to say that first lap was usually a banker lap from experience, but Jones has proved that all wrong. Got it by nearly 2/10, well, just on 2/10 of a second, but she'll now go around for her third and final lap.
Indeed, trying to find every 10 because we're waiting on the others to improve. Cam J. Taylor does not improve. As I'm just watching, Michael Healy is, I think it's actually his final lap now. Yeah, starting lap now, so I think this will be his final lap. So starting his last lap of the night, Emily Jones comes across and does improve again with a 37.674. Very impressive pace.
Jackaman did come across the line to improve. Yeah. He's got a 37.9 at the moment. He screwed up. Yep, and that's it. His qualifying done.
I think the one to watch will probably be Cam Taylor. Yeah, that's it. Cam Taylor's the only one. Final lap for him. Can he improve? He can, but not enough to pip Emily Jones. He'll stay P2 on a 37.823, and I believe that is indeed it for our field. Our 9 races here in this final last chance qualifier of the night, and they will line up as follows. Emily Jones will be on pole for this race with 37.674, really pumping in the lap there at the death, and then Cam J. Taylor will be second with 37.823. Michael Healy in third. We're probably looking for a bit of redemption. It seems like it's been a bit of a difficult night for him, a bit up and down, so we're hoping to round it off by making it into the final and make amends there. Luca Jackaman behind him. All these drivers in the 9s, by the way. Scott Larnack, 37.9 again. Gavin Sattler, 37.9 again. Joel Berkeley, 37.9 again. And then you go down to Glenn Postlethwaite with 38 flat. Then Richard Brockfield rounds out your field with 38.2. So that's a spread of about 0.6 of a second between the entire field. And the top 2 go through. So it's all the top 2 positions is key. And with the pace and how close it is, that battle for second, I mean, that could be an absolute great game.
It will be. And, well, we have 5 drivers in the space of 300 of a second. Well, not even that. Near enough to, it'd be 0.021 of a second separating what is 3rd to 7th. So this could be a very interesting first lap if no one hits anyone. But after that, it could be any man's game.
Yeah, indeed. It's going to be a really, really close last chance qualifier, and as we said, the way this has been lining up, it's showing the final is going to be just ridiculously close and hard fought, which we are all very excited for, I'm sure. But the quality time just rounding down now, and then we will head to the grid for this final last chance qualifier of the night for our final race of the night and deciding our winner and podium from this round. It's been an awesome round of racing so far. Phoenix really turning it on here tonight. Only really the one big wreck that we've seen anyway, which is good to see. Not many huge incidents occurring and just some good hard-fought racing going on. And as I said, I think the track being a bit wider kind of lends itself to having a bit more of that going on compared to especially a track like Lucas Oil, which is a lot tighter than this. But either way, grid's just about to start forming up now with 9 cars all up for this last chance qualifier. Top 2, as we said, going through. So that is all that matters. First and second is all that matters. If you're not in those positions, that is, you're not done. So that's what is on the table for these drivers now. But the time has run out. The lights are on. We are ready to go here for this last chance qualifier. CPR Rallycross, as we are waiting for them to go. And they are away for this race. And it looks like at the start it's a pretty even launch for both of the top 2. Cam and Emily going to go side by side. Oh, and Gavin Sattler in behind. Yes, Sattler around in the background. As they come in, so a bit of a tap. Central, bit of a tap there. Oh, very close to the wall there for Cam Taylor. But it looks like they've gotten through. Jones straight away for the Joker. And a few of the others, about half the field going for the Joker as well. But a pretty clean start in the end. Only real victim, Gavin Sattler. Berkeley has taken the Joker as well. And is right behind Brockfield. They come out. They're going to come out right with the pack as well, as Cam Taylor's just behind them, and they're going to be line astern as they now battle for what should be 3rd for now, but it won't stay that way once everyone else has done their job.
Well, a very, very long line for what would be 2nd place at the moment, but a lot of them banging off the Revelman in the turn 1. Oh, Jackaman little bit loose behind Healy there.
Yeah, and I think Sattler also took his Joker there to try and catch back up, but he's effectively behind his Jackerman. Yeah, goes for his as well. Brockfield still under a lot of pressure from Joel Berkeley, but at the moment they're fighting for nothing, really. As Emily Jones done her second as well, which is probably a smart play, deciding to take them early, use the clean air and try and get away from the battling pack behind. Could really help her as they are going hammer and tong. Yeah, Berkeley and Brockfield going right at it as they go down to turn one. Brookfield on the inside, they're not giving up. Berkeley's going to try and hold it up the high sides. They come into dive bomb central turn two, but it looks like Richard's just done enough. Good defending there from Richard as he holds position. And look at that, Cam J. Taylor and Michael Healy behind. This is really hurting them as Healy does now take the Joker, but Cam does not. Cam, it's like Jackerman in front. Jackerman in the tyre bundle, so that's got to be his race done. And wow, this is really turning it on now. This is helping Jones and Larnack. Remember, again, only the top two go through. That battle for third and what is now fourth doesn't matter in the end. So this is really not helping these two and trying to get through the final.
Yeah, well, they've got to... Basically, what would be happening now, is Brookfield... Look, Berkeley is still trying to get past Brookfield here because he must know.
Yeah, Healy, I was going to say, is right. Yeah, this is the battle to watch right now. They're both taking their Joker. This is for the last position in the final. Is between Healy. So there's a bit of a biff and barge from Healy. Doesn't take the spot though. Fair play to Michael there. I don't think it was an intentional hit. But so they are neck and neck, and they've come out not too far behind Emily Jones. So they're not that far off the lead, but as I said, only first and second get through, and that's all that matters. Whether you're first or second, that's what you're aiming for, and that's what these two will be going for right now. As looking and pushing big time to that second corner, right on the edge of grip. But Larnack has got the track position right now, and that's the key for these guys at the moment. Just looking through to see they have both done their Jokers, as of course has Emily Jones. Oh, Healy nearly hitting the tyre barrier there. I thought he was going to spin it for a moment. He keeps going.
Well, I'm looking through the results now. Taylor's now going for his first Joker lap, but basically fifth on back from first to fifth last lap. That all have taken two Jokers. So at the moment, it's look like it's going to be that's it or everything's over for the top two because they've all taken those Jokers. And they won't be under any threat from anybody that hasn't taken their Jokers yet.
Yeah, I think Cam probably trying to be a bit tactical with his Jokers, trying to hold on to them, and really he probably should have gone for it, really, because he got so held up behind the battle between Berkeley and Brockfield that it's pretty much put him out of contention. In that battle for second as Postlethwaite and Brockfield take their Jokers as well. I believe that's their second Jokers as well, so they're done with their Joker laps. And well, Brockfield and Taylor were side by side through the final chicane. Looks like Taylor's going to have a look up the inside into turn one. Oh, not quite able to break late. Richard again, pretty fearsome in defence, but here comes Cam. Oh, it's Cam looking up the inside. We're on board with Healy in this battle for second. Again, this is really all that matters. Those battles further back are not going to get into the final. So this one is the one to watch as Emily Jones is cruising out the lead, doing low 38s consistently. All she has to do is keep it on the straight and narrows. Jackerman's out. He disconnects right on cue as well. So a disaster into the night for Jackerman, but a really tough one for him. But his teammate might still be in with a shout of making it through. But the chasing pack's not far behind these guys, and they're doing some pretty lethal pace.
Well, Taylor has taken his second Joker lap, and that's basically it now. And the pace he's got to really go as fast as he can now to catch up to Healy and Larnack.
The tie bundle doesn't help. Look at this Berkeley up the inside, side by side. As they go into the transition, it's always so awkward being side by side through. I think Berkeley's going to have to back out, and he does. But again, this is... Yeah, everyone has now done their Jokers. There you go. So as they come over for two to go, it's all on hammer and tong now without Jokers to aid them. So this is going to be the effective order at the moment. You'd say from Cam back, they're just not close enough to do anything. And Healy's doing everything in his power to pass Larnack, but Larnack's just keeping the pace going, doing consistent, very consistent low 38s, and that's all he needs to do, just consistently hit his marks, keep doing that pace, and Healy will have no chance of getting through.
Well, Healy is really hoping for something for Larnack to screw. Oh, and right on cue.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, there he's back. Larnack having a bit of a long blink, man.
Yeah, I was about to say, all what had needed to happen was Larnack to do something wrong, and it nearly happened there, but now back with the Healy tapping barriers there to try and get past him, trying everything he can as we come across the line for the last lap. This is it. Healy's got to do something magical here to Larnack to get into the final. Gets very close to him through turn 1. I mean, 2, sorry, not really going to happen. Into the transition they come. It's not... Healy's trying to look for it. He's getting close, but he's got to find some sort of gap to go for. And
Yeah, Scott's not gonna really let him have it, is he? He's been so consistent this race. Michael Healy doing everything he can, but just not enough at the moment. Emily Jones is going to take the win though in this last chance qualifier, transfer to the final, and it is going to be Scott Larnack with really quite a fantastic drive. Was under the pressure from Healy for most of that race, but just did not let it affect him. And Berkey around we're hearing as well as they pressing across the line. There we go. So ending his night in style at least, but there you go. Very, very exciting last chance qualifier. Great finish from all of the drivers. Results are now on screen for you. Emily Jones takes the win in commanding fashion once again. So back on form after some issues throughout the middle phase of the night, but he's going to transfer through to the final, which is the main thing there. Scott Larnack will as well in second spot, and then your knocked out drivers for tonight. Michael Healy did everything in his power and some to get by Scott, but just not quite able to make the move. Just too consistent was Larnack really in the end. Cam J. Taylor, bit of a recovery drive for him after being further back off the line. Came back through to end up P4, only just off the back of the second-third battle, but it's not going to be enough to get him through to the final. Ben Postlethwaite in 5th with Richard Brookfield in 6th. Gavin Sattler ends up in P7. Joel Berkeley, P8 a lap down, so a difficult night for him, ends just before the final. And then Luca Jackman, we saw, had the issue off the jump, and he ends up retiring and out of the night of racing. But we now have our final set, and I tell you what, it is going to be absolute cracker. If that race is anything to go by, I think we quite literally do have 10 drivers who could win this final. Every single one of them have the pace to do it. It just needs to fall right and go right in the race. And as we see in Rallycross, you just never know. You quite literally never know until that final lap as you cross the line. As we've seen tonight, it just is never over until that point. So we'll have our final break for the night. And when we come back, it's all up for grabs. The final for this round of the CPR Rallycross Series here at Phoenix. Hope you've been enjoying the show. We'll be back for the big one in just a moment.
Red Bull GRCs are now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Back to Cut Price Racing Rallycross here Thursday nights. V8 Online here at Phoenix for this round of the championship. We've had an awesome night of racing so far, especially that last race. Really turned it on with some really clean but really hard racing there. And we now have our final for the night. 10 cars vying for the win for this round, and we were just saying, and as we've sort of alluded to in the last few races, it is an absolutely chockers race. Literally anyone in this race could win it. Absolutely anyone. It's not even joking. Just quite literally any one of these drivers, given the right circumstances and having a clean race, could win this one. The grid is as follows. Mitchell McLeod with, or the drivers, sorry, this one. We have Mitchell McLeod in here, Blake Neck, Kurt Stenberg, Bob King, Emily Jones, Brendan, Scott Larnack, Daniel Ackland, Lachlan Smith, and Bo Albert rounds out your field of this. I mean, I don't really have to say anything. I have to explain anything, really. Just hear those names. And if you've seen them race in Rallycross recently, you know that they are very, very good.
Yep, it's sort of the happy medium between GT racing and V8 supercars, where you get the very slidey action of the V8s, and then the GT cars, the GT drivers, they kick in when it hits the gravel, hits the tarmac. But 15 laps, 2 jokers, 15. It's just going to be 15 laps of mayhem, in my opinion. But
I think
people gridding up, I believe, or no, qualifying. Sorry,
yeah. So we have the qualifying, like last chance qualifier. I think what this will be, because I haven't said it all night, just remember to now, it will be a crazy bonkers race. There we go, done. Right, happy.
There we go.
Successful broadcast of my eyes now. But either way, we've got the drivers now heading out to do their qualifying laps. I'll try and find who the first one is. A bit of a race for who the first one is. It looks like it'll be Daniel Ackland. Bob King, I think. Yeah, Bob King will be the first to start a lap. We haven't seen him yet. I don't think he's been in a single one of our broadcast races just yet. He's kept being in the wrong place a long time in that regard, but we see him here in the all-crucial final. And as we've been talking about, he's a guy who's very quick in dirt oval, one of the quickest, and no surprise how quick he is here in Rallycross with the dirt element of it. So really showing his talent here tonight. We know he has, which is probably a good reason why Sanji picked him up as well for the new season. Looking at for 2018, looking very much like a star-studded lineup for them on dirt, in Rallycross and in oval. So they'll be looking for a good result tonight to really kickstart their 2018 dirt campaign there at SSR. But King coming through now, the sweeping right-hander. Looks like a pretty clean lap so far. I think he may have hit the banking on full of jump though, that it may have been a Netco contact. We'll find out as he comes across the line. Does it count? It does. Ooh, a 37 for the Bob King straight off the bat. Beautiful lap from him. But Mitchell McLeod, 37.388 from him. Pips him straight
blows
away.
it out of the water.
Yeah. Wow. As Jay said, yeah, not bad for someone who doesn't really practice too much these days. Just showing that raw pace. Hobbo in 6th.
Hobbo in his national habitat here at the moment.
Yeah. He can't resist. We're not lying when he says.
Oh no, he's out of 6th. Bo Albert's got him there. He's got a. God damn it, Bo! What have you done?
37.8 and 38.1 for Larnack as well. So we're only waiting on Stenberg and Smith, and I think Stenberg's about to do one. Is it? Yep. Ooh, 39.6 for Stenberg, and really needs to up the pace if he wants to be competitive here for this final. Smith, we've seen in a few of our races with broadcast, been right up there every single time. So Gavin Sutton Racing, well, Siri ends up here, comes across the line, 38.3, yeah, so it's going to put him in P9 for now. So all the drivers have done their initial laps, they're all going along to go again. Mitch has got to do another one indeed, so Mitch on one now, see if he can improve in the forward focus. Bob King, I don't think, is on one, so and you can see the precision, as you saw there in turn 2, he's done. Now, there you go, he must have clicked the barrier on the way through, but really on the edge of the limits.
Oh,
like neck, there you go. Oh, just as well.
But Jones is coming across to get her final lap in. I don't know if she hit the barrier or anything during the lap. No, she... Yep.
Oh, but yep, 37.823 so far.
Very close to that tyre barrier at the last corner.
Yep, looking not too bad. For the end of the lap, he does improve, but doesn't go up a position. Stays P6 with 37.693, and that should be at this point probably where he's going to start. Looks like the rest of the field have done their laps. So there you go. Grid is now sorted, I believe, for this one. Although McLeod going around, I'm not sure if he's the tyre barrier anyway. So there you go. I think he's just getting some practice lap in before the race. So the grid is as follows. The final here tonight for this round of the CPR Rallycross Series. Blake Neck is going to be on pole, just pipping Mitch McLeod by about 0.013 of a second there in the battle for pole position. Bob King right behind as well within striking distance. Battle for that lead. Emily Jones in 4th with Daniel Ackland in 5th. Bo Albert ends up in 6th with Brendan Hobson in 7th. Scott Larnack is going to be in 8th, with Kurt Stenberg in 9th, and Lachlan Smith rounds out your 10-car field in this final. A second covering the whole field, but as we said, in race trim, any one of these drivers can have a shot at this. So I think that first lap, turn 2, it's going to be crucial here.
Well, it's going to be people sending it at turn 2, or it's going to be, all handy clean, and then give it about 2 or 3 laps and they might be in it, because this is 5 laps longer than any race they've had tonight. Still at the same amount of jokers, so 5 more laps they've got to plan, think about when they're going to take their jokers. They might take them on the first 2 laps, you never know, but got 40 seconds left until they all start to grid here for the finale of round 2 or 3, I have lost count. 3.
There you go,
right?
Round 3 of the series, and yeah, as you said, it's going to be a cracking race here, and that start's going to be crucial, and also the jokers, when they use them, it's really going to be crucial where they can use it to get clean air effectively. The more clean air they can have to really pump out the laps, the better it's going to be for them. So I think we're going to see a lot of people trying to use them to get out of traffic. So I get the feeling we might see a fair few use them early on here to try and clear people in the first lap, but there might be a few who are thinking that's going to happen and they won't use theirs early on. So, and that's the juggling thing you've got to be sort of thinking about Rallycross. You don't know what everyone else is doing, so you've got to just kind of guess with those first jokers and hope that nobody else around you follows you through, so you can get that clean air and really start to wallop away from people battling behind you. But we're just waiting on the field to line up 10 cars, full grid here for the final tonight for round 3 of CPR Rallycross here at Phoenix. It's going to be a absolutely chockers race, crazy bonkers indeed. And yeah, as we said, quite literally anyone here can take this one, but the lights are now on, waiting for the green flag here. Final race of the night. Who's going to take the honours for this third round? It's green flag and we're away, and it's almost a dead even start from just about everybody as they head into turn 1. They're going to be side by side with Blake Neck and McLeod. McLeod around the outside, cuts across down the inside, blocks him off. Great start.
And King sent it on Jones, gets it done cleanly as well. Jones around. Will she save it? Yes, she will, and I believe will take the Joker while doing that. Wow.
That was almost a Concordian effect. She had as hot, and McLeod has taken it as well. I think nearly everyone actually has taken their Joker on the first lap.
6 or 7 cars looking at.
Yeah. Neck as well has dropped further back as well, so I think he's had an incident somewhere on the jump. Yeah, Neck was Neck had over the jump, hit the tyre bundle, and that's why he's at the back, and Smith's around as well, so 2 of our contenders are already dropped well off the field, so Neck's got a lot to do if he wants to challenge the top end of the position he's got.
His teammates get together.
Bo Albert has just been turned by his teammate, Scott Larnack.
And Ackland.
And yeah,
Ackland is took Joker.
Yep. Stenberg nearly getting collected by Neck at the jump. They're all going off here in the final. And we have a replay of the teammates coming together.
It's not going to be there will not be a very happy team, or will be really a happy fly on the wall.
Yeah, battle for the lead is on as well. McLeod and King going at it. McLeod, both have cleared their jokers, so they're clear of the pack. Brendan Hobson behind them has as well, so he's in the clear for the moment. Emily Jones has only done the once. She's got one in hand. She has clear track. And Ackland's only done one as well, as has Larnack. But we have... There you go. Ackland's just on his second now. We only have 9 left in the race as Blake Neck having another incident off the jump. It all started so well on pole. His race has very quickly gone downhill. We've got Bo Albert unfortunately out of the race after that incident with his teammate. But man, what a crazy race we've had so far. It's all kicked off. And it's seen a lot of victims already, but the fight for the lead is still well and truly on. McLeod v Bob King, SSR v Talk Inc. And Talk Inc has the advantage.
Last lap, those 2 cars separated by exactly a 1/10 of a second. So this is all or nothing at the moment for this lead, and also for the winners. Hobson has taken his 2 jokers as well, so. And same thing for Ackland as well, so a lot of these drivers, except for Jones, he's only taken 1 of her jokers, and same thing for Larnack, and Smith has taken both. Sorry, Blake Neck hasn't taken any at all, and also Stenny has taken 1.
There you go, yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag. I think a lot of people take him early after the incidents early on, trying to clear the pack and get out of harm's way. Having mixed results so far with McLeod. Holding on as, there's a moment there for Bob King. Just hit the, he's hit two of them. Hit both the tyre barriers through the sweeping right-hander. Really messed up his rhythm, and that's dropped him well down there on McLeod. He was right behind him on that lap. The 37.4 for McLeod, 38 flat for King. So King going to need to improve, or just try to avoid those tyre barriers a bit more to avoid losing too much time here on McLeod. He's just banging in the laps so far. You've got Brendan Hobson not far behind. He's not quite on the pace of McLeod, but he's still hanging in there. But McLeod in the box seat for now. You've also got Daniel Ackland, who has done both of his Jokers as well in P4. You've got Jones in 5th at the moment with the Joker to go, so she should, if she just keeps going where she's at, she'll probably come out near enough to Hobson, so might still be able to battle possibly for a podium. She can keep doing that pace she's doing high 37s as well, so the pace is most certainly there.
And well, McLeod had his lap 5, so 2 laps ago was his fastest lap of 37.4. They're all really in relative pace of each other at the moment for that top 3, but they top 2, the McLeod and King are both pulling away from Hobbo. But also as well, I believe Ackland is starting to catch to his teammate. Same thing with Jones, he's starting to catch up as well. But and also, yes, Jones has still got a Joker, so she might pull in front of these 2 SSR cars on this Joker, but she'll have to do something magical for that to happen.
Oh, she'll definitely get Ackland at the moment. She's right, very much close enough to get Ackland at least. Yeah, I think it'll be pretty line ball with Hobson. It's usually about sort of 3-4 seconds thereabouts for the Joker advantage here at Phoenix, and she's right on that bubble with Hobson, so she might get him, but she's quite close enough. Not taking it this lap, which I think is an interesting call. She's quite clearly caught Ackland here and is pressuring him now. I would have thought she'll want to use that Joker as soon as she can to get in the clean air, but I think she might be watching that gap to Hobson, if anything. Might be looking to try and get in a certain gap with Hobson so she can guarantee passing him for 3rd. But out in front, McLeod's still leading the way. We're talking with Bobbing, just keeping him honest at the moment is Bob King. He's just about matching him, but he just can't quite close back in. That error through the sweeping right hand is proving pretty crucial right now, because just giving Mitch that little bit of a buffer that he might well end up being decisive in this battle for the lead. Hobson's just kind of in the middle of his own at the moment, but Emily Jones takes it. Yeah, Emily Jones takes the Joker. So deciding to get out of the
well, she might come beside Hobbo, or will she be in front?
Oh, just behind. Oh, I don't know. Here we go, side by side. Oh, here we go, taking the long way around. I think Hobbo just... gives it a nice shove there through the chicane. Hobbo just covered her off, so he's just going to hold on to the podium for now. But I think Jones has the advantage on pace. So she's got the pace. Can she find a way through is the question. The battle for the lead is actually expanding further. Mitch just keeps pumping in mid-37s, and King just can't match that. This battle for 3rd is well and truly on.
Jones is right up there with Hobbo, and Hobbo would be really feeling it. Off the jump, they come very close. Jones is looking for it. Will she send it? No. Yes, maybe. Gets the nose, hits the barrier. Nothing. No tap or anything. Yep, she'll let him go. So will she send it at turn 2? Hobbo hitting the barriers.
And it's always a bit of a risky game as well. If you hit those barriers at the wrong angle, I mean, sometimes you'll hit them and you'll come out.
Well, there goes Jones
Emily up the inside.
Looking.
Hobbo.
No tap. Lets him go.
Well done from Hobbo. He saw her have a go, but he just covered it off, and in the end they maybe had a slight touch, but nothing major. But it's always the risk when you hit those tyre barriers. You hit them at the wrong angle or the wrong sort of speed, you can really manage or really mangle your steering. So Hobbo probably lucky there with that hit that he did damage the steering, but Jones is right there, and Daniel Ackland is holding on this. The more they battle, the closer he's going to get. So it'll become a bit of an SSR sandwich here with Emily right in the middle. But the top 2 continue to gap away. But McLeod going slowly through turn 2 there. I wonder if he maybe had a cut track. His last lap not counting. So we'll see what happens with that one. But either way, Battle for Lead is back on thanks to that, because McLeod, I don't know what happened there. Probably had a moment on that lap. I'm assuming with that lap not counting, he must have had a cut track somewhere. Let's hope he doesn't have a penalty as King. Having a bit of a sniff up the insides. They're going to sweeping right-hander. They're going to have 3 laps to go next time by. We've got a really juicy battle for 3rd and 1st.
It's a very juicy battle, and we're getting around to what would be 3 laps to go this time by. So as you said, McLeod in the lead with Ting in 2nd. 3rd place is Jones, or 3rd place, sorry, is Hobbo. 4th place is Jones, just setting her fastest lap of the race so far. And then 5th place is Daniel Ackland. And then 6th is Scott Larnack, with 7th place being Blake next. Still trying to find some pace, maybe get into 6th place, and 8th place is Smith, with 9th place being Stenberg, getting very close by the looks of being lapped here.
Yeah, I think Stenberg just trying to bring home results at the moment. I was about to say Jones looking really keen on Hobson through the middle section of the track. Hobson just clipped the tyre barrier before the sweeping right-hander that cost him some time. He's managed to recover it through there. Oh, big snap there from Emily Jones. Nearly saw her into the fence there, pushing as hard as she dares, doing those high 37s. But Hobbo's just picked up the pace a little bit. He's just doing enough to hold on for now. Battle for the lead has stabilised a bit. McLeod has just got a little bit of a buffer to Bob King. It's not much, but it's just enough now as they'll be starting their final lap next time by. And have Kurt Stenberg just up the road as well. They're just closing up. King's sniffing it. He knows it's the final lap, and he's got to throw everything he can right now. Jones hit the tyre barrier.
Jones is a ramp. Yes, Jones is a ramp. It was effect.
Ackland, so close. That was really close. Good job. And yeah, battle for the lead is well and truly on. I was waiting for it to kick off, and look at that. Defensive from McLeod. King really putting on the heat now in this final lap. He knows it's do or die. He needs to do it now. He wants
and they've got Stenberg very close to being lapped. So
look at this.
Very interesting.
So close over the
McLeod
jump.
a little bit crossed up in the air there. King's going to give him a tap. Stenberg out the road. That's good. King sends it. But could McLeod get the run? Yes, he can. Gives him a tap again. The tap and they're moving. They're gone. McLeod is around.
Oh
and
my goodness.
King, out of nowhere, from sending it, gets the win. McLeod's 2nd place. It'll be Hobson 3rd. 4th place would be Ackland. 5th would be Jones, taking a little shortcut there. 6th is Larnack. 7th would be Blake Neck. 8th would be Lachlan Smith. Okay, so we're getting a replay of what happened to Neck.
Yeah, he came out, so yeah, Nick came out with Larnack, and that was what the incident was. He came in, I don't know if he actually saw where Larnack was, and a bit of contact between the two, and I think Emily Jones, her head actually got involved in that incident as well, and then in the end, out of all that, he went straight into the tyre barrier, and that's where that front end went. It was actually, the back of Larnack, and that's where his front end went on that Beetle. Wow, what a frenetic end. Crazy bonkers indeed to end tonight's racing.
The massive point of that race tonight was King's send on McLeod on the last lap. We all knew it was going to happen or be something of those lines, but wow.
It's interesting end. Interesting ends. I'll think I'll put on that one. But either way, it looks like McLeod actually had a cut penalty as well, and he's actually dropped down to 7th in the standings thanks to that now. So a real firecracker of an end there, but Bob King ends up coming out victorious, winning tonight's racing. Brendan Hobson, out of all that, started 7th, ends up 2nd, so a pretty clean race from him. Kept his nose clean, and he ends up in P2. Daniel Ackland rounds out the podium, so it's a SSR 1-2-3. Huge successful night for them. Emily Jones, despite the incidents there throughout the race, still comes home a solid P4, so some good points for her in the championship. Scott Larnack ends up P5 with Blake Neck. A bit of a story of what could have been for him. Started pole, ends up P6. Mitchell McLeod, another one who's going to be in a similar boat, started 2nd, ends up 7th. Lachlan Smith ends up 8th. The lap down is Kurt Stenberg, and Bo Albin unfortunately retiring early on after the contact with his teammate, ends up retired in 10th. Well,
what a race! What a last lap! And I think that that last lap is going to be something that we could see a bit of payback for from McLeod and King. But it was the first lap was okay. Then there's 13 laps to nothing, and then that last half a lap just kicked in, and oh my god, what was it? It was something special.
Yeah, it was crazy, and yeah, I think McLeod just saying about a penalty out of the last kink, I assume would have been from slowdowns potentially, because I know that you can get time penalties tacked on with slowdowns as well. But either way, that pretty much ends that. But we will bring in Mr. Brenton Hobson himself. Brenton, in the end, I mean, started P7 in that one, a bit further down, but he ended up 2nd. I mean, how was that one for you? Because it certainly looked like at the end it all kind of kicked off there in the last lap.
I'm not quite sure what happened up at the front, but I swear I didn't think I'd end up anywhere near the front. So I was a little disappointed with the qualifying to end up back in 7th there for the feature, but honestly, it's probably where I deserve to be at the best. And yeah, I sort of managed to work my way forward. I've had that a little bit all night, really. Early jokers seem to have worked well, so I didn't change it. It wasn't broken, so why fix it? And it worked out again. So I managed to make up a few spots there and jumped a couple of people through the jokers, and yeah, just held on and struggled away to the finish, and lo and behold, on the podium.
Well, I think what a good way to do your first sort of broadcasted race in your new home. I'm guessing very, very special indeed. We all thought we were going to be sixth place in that qualifying session, but I'm guessing those few laps there in the middle with you and Jones, was it sort of, you get faster during it, but were you thinking to yourself, oh, she might get me here, send it at turn 2?
Yeah, look, she was faster than me. I really wasn't that fast tonight, but I knew that if I came out in front, it'd be tough. It's a pretty hard place to pass, so I was pretty bad down at the last corner on the track, so I just wanted to try and stay clean and not open up the inside down there, keep it tight around the bottom so she couldn't go down the inside at the last corner, and then just hope that I was good enough under brakes down at turn 1 or 2 or whatever it is, and would be safe. But yeah, I think all in all, I'm pretty happy with that. I was a bit worried that she was there, but ultimately just wanted to keep the line and make her earn it, really.
Indeed, I mean, and obviously for the team, 1, 2, 3 for the final. I mean, going to tonight here at Phoenix, I mean, were you expecting that sort of success, or it just all kind of fell into place?
I didn't expect any success for me personally at all. So, honestly, Cam Taylor probably deserved to be up here instead of me. He's a very fast driver and just had a bit of an unlucky night with some technical issues. And, I'm happy to be up here, but I didn't expect personally to be anywhere near the front. It's great to see Bob have a good run. He's super fast in these things. And obviously Daniel as well, who's been really, really fast in these cars. So it's good to see him get some good results to show for it.
Well, very interesting race. I think we all would have thought that you'd finish 6th place because you are #forever 6th place. So
you're being brutal with that.
Yeah. Well, we are being brutal to you, but 2nd place, one shy off getting a good win. But great job, Pavo. You deserved it. We'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's a lot of fun, and obviously thanks to everyone who put on the event. It's good fun, and I'll be back. It's an enjoyable night.
Thank you. And while we're here, we've got now our first place, Bob King. We all have to go to what is the best part of tonight, the last lap. What do you think of that last lap, in your opinion?
It was a bit of a hectic one. I didn't think I had enough room, and then managed to get up onto his tail and made a move. It was a little bit of contact, but I mean, it's rallycross.
Well, we all have to say as well, those before that last lap, you were sort of on his tail, you were staying with him, and then what was the last 5-6 laps, and we didn't really see the mistake he made, but you did stay with him, try to get him. So was it really hard staying with McLeod during that race, or was it sail and see what happened?
He made a bit of a break, and I sort of settled into a rhythm, maybe accepted 2nd place, and then I think he actually got a slowdown, and that allowed me to get onto his tail end and sort of got the red mist and made it happen in the last couple of laps.
Yeah, very good. And, I mean, obviously with the results and your speed, I'm guessing Phoenix is one that you quite enjoy. But, I mean, is this one of your favourites of the rallycross tracks so far, or is there other ones that you maybe prefer a bit more?
Actually, no. I only really started to turn some laps here today. Daytona and Iowa tend to be my better tracks, but we'll take the win, and that's what we tonight. So we'll play for that, shall we?
Yeah. I mean, and that's something. Actually, I'll just quickly, speaking of tracks, one that I haven't really heard too much of you on. It's mostly because it's one that I don't particularly enjoy myself. Is Lucas Oil? Have you done any laps around there? I know it's a very thin circuit, but
it's a very technical track. I think I've got some good speed there, being predominantly dirt. That seems to suit my background. Yeah, that seems to be one I'll be looking forward to some good finishes at.
Yeah, for sure. And so I guess. Congrats on the win, and I guess looking forward to the next rounds. Are you sort of hoping to keep this form going forward?
Yeah, I've had some pretty good speed in the rallycross car. It's sort of it wasn't a plan to be racing it, but seem to be getting the places, so we'll keep going with it.
Fair enough. All right. Well, again, congrats on the win, Bob, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks for that, guys.
No worries at all. So I believe we have a Mr. Mitch McLeod in here as well for a quick little interview. So, Mitch, that end was something. It's very exciting for us as a spectator, of course, but we weren't in the cars on track ourselves. But that race certainly put on the fireworks for the final. We were seeing it coming, but I mean, how was that your perspective, that one, the final?
Oh, it was much better than I expected it was going to be. I didn't realise we'd re-qualify for the final, so being in second, I was happy. Getting the start I got, I wasn't too impressed, but then around the outside and into turn one, and then I managed to pull over into the front of everyone for turn two, and that was all good. Took me 2 jokers to make sure I had clean air, and all went pretty well. And then one poorly timed jump, I got a bit of damage, and from then on, it was fine everywhere apart from launching over the jump. So it was just sending me whichever way it felt like it off the jump. So that was a bit weird. And and then obviously last lap, Bob King decided that he wanted first more than I did, and just sent it. And there was no way he was going to stop because he hit me and then ran super wide. And I managed to get back up the inside of him, but then he just pushed me into the tyres, and not much I could do. So. And then I got a time penalty as well for crossing the line, I think. So, not the way you want to end it, but it was fun up until then.
Yeah, and I mean, and thinking just about that as well. I mean, as we were saying about this before the race. I mean, just to make to the final with that field and the quality of field is a very fine achievement itself. So, big congrats on that. But I mean, how are you finding the Rallycross guys? Obviously, coming tonight, sort of just have a bit of a crack. But I mean, how are you finding them yourself? Obviously, with your pace, they must suit you pretty well. But how are you finding it from your perspective?
I'm absolutely loving it. Having to drive it as well, even more smooth than what you would as a supercar or something like that. Like, you've got to drive it so smooth on tarmac, but then you've got to know how much to slide on dirt, on that sort of challenge. And then there's a jump, playing with the throttle and the brake to make sure you level it out and all that sort of thing over the jumps. It's just a different challenge. I'm loving it, but I just hadn't had a chance to get on when these races have happened. So being able to jump on and do as well as I did, I didn't really expect it. So it's been a good night.
Right. So, and with that out of the way, how much practice did you do before you joined in qualifying tonight? Because I think a lot of us have been dumbfounded by the amount of pace you had just from what was not even any laps in qualifying at all.
No, tonight on this track I did nothing at all. I jumped in and it was in qualifying, messed up that, so didn't get a time in. But I've done a fair few laps in Rallycross and done a fair few laps around this track as well, so I knew where it all went. I was just happy that I've done a lap since they fixed up that Joker lap and put the concrete in there, because my first official race when they changed that was interesting.
Found out the change, I suppose. I mean, again, awesome result for you, Mitch. Despite how it sort of came to a head, I suppose, at the end there. But I mean, looking forward, I mean, are you thinking, if you can, continuing to race in this? I think it's Daytona Long next, so looking to keep going on, or sort of depend on whether you're around.
Yeah, for sure. If I can, I'll get back in for sure. It's I had no idea how the actual night ran. It's the first time I've done Rallycross and heats and everything like that on a hosted race, so I wasn't quite sure of the format, but everything seemed to run pretty smooth and ran really well. So if I can, I'll be back for sure, no doubt about it. So hopefully do a bit more practice, qualify where I should, and won't have to work so hard to try and get into the final this time.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, thank you again for coming in, Mitch, and again, congrats on making it to the final. Just your results tonight. Very successful night racing for you.
All right, cheers, guys.
Thank you. So there's your interviewees for this round. Well, Corey, as we've said throughout the whole night, and as we saw that last race, I mean, Rallycross keeps turning it on, and especially as the drivers are getting more practice, the fields are we're kind of thinning down to the fields of the real committed Rallycross drivers as well. I mean, it just keeps getting better and better, and we're back at Daytona again next week, which obviously is the track that probably everyone's done the most laps of, because of course Daytona and these. So should be a interesting night of racing, but it's your thoughts, I guess, for tonight, Corey, and looking ahead as well.
Well, it's it's Rallycross is sort of starting to become one of those, you should take it more serious to become good at, because look at the amount of skill, look at the amount of drivers we had, in this race. It was so the skill level was amazing. The final was great. It was good racing overall. Some people decided to send it, in some good places and bad places, but it's really starting to shape up as one of those, sort of like the V8 supercars. It's not one of those get in and have fun. You have to do a couple laps, get used to it and then go for it. But, very excited to go to Daytona Long next week. So, going to see that very tight hairpin having some action again.
Yeah, indeed. And as I said, Daytona, probably the one that I would assume most laps have probably been done at, being the one that obviously the series started at in that week 13. So it should be an absolute cracker. It turns on the racing at Daytona. It's a very tight and twisty track in parts, especially the long circuit. It's a bit more room on the short circuit, but the long one, you got the walls either side, and some very tight sections as well. So should turn on the racing once again. So we look forward to your company next week for that. Obviously, the next broadcast, though, for us will be on the Saturday, about 1:30 or so Sydney time, for the Raw before the 24. I should be there to lead you through it once again. Should be a lot of fun. Very keen and very much looking forward to that race. I'm sure with the cars available and the way they race, especially at Daytona, I'm expecting a lot of really intense action for probably the whole 2.4 hours, really, and that should be an absolute cracker. So be sure to join myself. I'm sure Joe will be there on the cameras, and might be some more company. We'll soon see. But join us Saturday for that. Monday, of course, next week, we've got the V8 Supercars broadcast starting once again with the official series. So look forward to that at Montreal. And then next Thursday, this time next week, we're back for more CPR Rallycross. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. For myself, Thomas Hinds, Corey Ott, thanks for joining me on the comms. And of course, Jay Candy doing all the magic behind the scenes and with the cameras. We hope you enjoyed the show, and until next time, it's bye for now from V8 Online.